Amid the lively chaos of a bustling market, a young German shepherd, clearly neglected and forlorn, captured the attention of a 5-year-old girl. The dog looked forlorn, his eyes heavy with sadness, and the girl, filled with compassion, urgently pleaded with her mother to save him. What happened next was nothing short of extraordinary. One bright Saturday morning, Emily, just 5 years old, wandered through the crowded market with her parents. Her innocent eyes fell upon a large German shepherd tied to a post near a corner stall. Her mother, Victoria, noticed Emily's gaze and followed it to the dog. With a resigned sigh, she recognized her daughter's tender heart for animals in need. "All right, sweetie, we'll go take a look, but stay close to me," she said softly. As they approached, Emily crouched a few feet from the dog. "Hey there, boy," she whispered, extending a hand. The dog sniffed the air cautiously, its ears twitching slightly at the sound. Emily inched closer, her voice soothing. "You look so sad, but it's okay. I'm here now." Victoria watched her daughter closely. Emily always had a unique way of connecting with animals, but this dog seemed especially vulnerable. "Emily, be careful," Victoria warned. "He might be frightened." The little girl nodded, her eyes never leaving the dog. She spotted a nearby vendor who appeared to be the owner. The man was absorbed in tending to customers, hardly giving the dog a second glance. Emily stood and walked toward him. "Excuse me, sir, is this your dog?" she asked. The vendor barely glanced at her before responding. "Yeah, that's him. He's no good. Nobody wants him. Just taking up space." Emily's heart sank at his cold words. "Can I pet him?" she asked timidly. The man shrugged indifferently. Emily turned back to the dog, cautiously reaching out to pet him. To her surprise, the dog didn't shy away. Instead, he leaned into her touch, his tail giving a soft wag. Emily smiled. She could feel the bond beginning to form. Over the next few weeks, Emily and her parents returned to the market regularly. Each visit, Emily spent more time with the dog. She named him Thor, and with every encounter their connection grew. Thor seemed to recognize Emily. His eyes would light up whenever he saw her. Her parents began to notice this growing bond and started discussing the possibility of bringing Thor home. They knew it would be challenging. Thor was in desperate need of medical care and attention, but they couldn't ignore Emily's deep commitment to helping him. After much discussion, they approached the vendor with an offer to take Thor home. The man, eager to be rid of what he called a useless dog, agreed without hesitation. Emily's heart soared with joy as she gently unchained Thor and led him to their car. "You're coming home with us," she whispered softly to him. On the ride back, Emily sat beside Thor, her hand gently stroking his fur. He rested his head on her lap, a quiet gesture of trust and comfort. Emily had rescued a neglected dog from the market, but little did she know, Thor, as he would soon be called, was about to show just how deep their bond would run. Bringing him home was only the beginning of an incredible journey for Emily and her family. Though the joy of rescuing Thor filled their hearts, the challenges of caring for him soon became apparent. With his matted fur and visible ribs, it was clear Thor had endured a rough life, and it showed in his behavior. At first, he was skittish, fearful of his new surroundings. He flinched at sudden movements, recoiling at loud noises, and cowered when adults tried to pet him. Emily, however, spent every moment she could with him. She would sit by his side, reading books or talking to him about her day. Her small size seemed to comfort him. Gradually, Thor began to show signs of trust. He leaned into her touch when she petted him, and he started following her around the house. Still, his behavior remained unpredictable, prompting the family to seek professional help. They contacted Dr. Louise Taylor, a local animal behaviorist who specialized in working with traumatized dogs. Dr. Taylor visited their home and carefully observed Thor's actions. "This dog has been through a lot," she said thoughtfully. "His behavior is a result of the trauma he's experienced. What he needs now is a stable environment, patience, and consistent training to rebuild his sense of security." She gave them a training plan that emphasized positive reinforcement and gradual exposure to new experiences. The process was slow, requiring immense patience. Some days, Thor made great progress, responding well to commands. He even played fetch with Emily occasionally. But there were setbacks too. Thor would sometimes growl or snap if he felt cornered or threatened, though he was never aggressive toward Emily. One afternoon, as Emily played in the yard, Thor approached her with a ball in his mouth, tail wagging excitedly. It was the first time he had initiated play, and Emily's heart soared with happiness. She threw the ball and Thor chased after it, barking joyfully. Victoria and John watched from the porch, feeling a sense of accomplishment. The road to Thor's rehabilitation was far from over, but the family's unwavering commitment was beginning to bear fruit. As the weeks passed, Thor's behavior gradually improved. Emily's unending patience and love started to heal the emotional scars from his past. One sunny afternoon, she played in the yard, her laughter echoing in the air. Thor chased after the ball, his tail wagging with newfound happiness. Victoria and John sat on the porch, sipping iced tea, feeling a deep sense of peace as they watched. They marveled at how far their beloved dog had come. Then, without warning, a loud noise shattered the tranquility. The neighbor's cat, startled by a car backfiring, darted across the yard, sending Thor into a frenzy. He took off after the cat, barking furiously. Emily tried to stop him, running after him with all her might, her small legs struggling to keep pace. In the chaos, she didn't see the speeding car coming down the street. Victoria and John's hearts stopped as they saw Emily chasing Thor. They screamed, but their voices were drowned out by the car's roar and the dog's frantic barking. In that split second, Thor's protective instincts kicked in. He sensed the danger long before Emily did. As the car sped toward them, he spun around, dashing back to her with incredible speed. With a powerful leap, he pushed Emily out of the car's path just as it screeched to a halt. The driver's face was pale with shock. Victoria and John rushed to Emily's side. She was dazed but unharmed, clinging to Thor, who stood protectively over her. He gently nuzzled her, licking her face in reassurance. From that moment on, Thor's place in the family was secure. His heroic act had changed the way Victoria and John saw him. No longer was he just a dog rescued from a troubled past. He was their loyal protector, a beloved family member, ready to go to any lengths to keep them safe. One day, while on a walk, Thor suddenly froze and began to growl. Emily looked up to see a man approaching. It was the same vendor from the market, the one who had kept Thor chained and neglected. The man's eyes narrowed as he recognized the dog. "So, this is where you ended up," he sneered, his voice cold and sharp. Emily tightened her grip on Thor's leash, feeling the tension building in him. She knew she had to remain calm. "Thor is my dog now," she said, with quiet resolve. "And you can't take him back." The man scoffed, his arrogance seeping through. "He was mine first," he sneered. "You had no right to take him." Emily's voice never wavered. "He's my dog, and you can't have him." "You didn't take care of him," Emily responded firmly, her voice unwavering. "He deserved better." The man took a threatening step closer. Thor growled more fiercely, positioning himself protectively in front of Emily. The man threatened to involve the authorities, accusing Emily of stealing his dog. Emily's mind raced. She knew the man had no claim to Thor, but the confrontation was still unsettling. "Go ahead," she replied, her voice steady. "We have proof of how you treated him. You won't get him back." The man glared at her, eyes filled with malice, then turned and walked away, muttering under his breath. Emily exhaled shakily, kneeling beside Thor. She wrapped her arms around him, whispering, "It's okay. He won't hurt you ever again." Though the incident rattled her, it only strengthened Emily's resolve. She knew she had to stay vigilant and protect Thor from anyone who might try to take him away. That evening, she discussed the encounter with her parents. They reassured her, promising they would always support her and keep Thor safe. On a bright sunny Saturday, the local community hosted a pet fair and dog show. Emily's family decided to attend, eager to enjoy the day and showcase Thor's progress. The fair was alive with energy when they arrived. Booths offering pet supplies, treats, and educational materials lined the park. The air buzzed with excited barks and laughter as dogs of every shape and size mingled with their owners. Emily was thrilled to attend the event, eager to see how Thor would adapt to such a bustling, unfamiliar environment. As they wandered through the fair, they came across a booth featuring a tracking and agility demonstration. Emily's eyes lit up with excitement as she took in the display. "Can we try this, Mommy?" she asked, her face alight with hope. Victoria smiled warmly and nodded. They approached the booth, where a friendly instructor greeted them. He asked if they wanted to see if their dog had any hidden talents. Emily nodded eagerly, her heart racing with anticipation. The instructor guided them to the agility course, which was set up with tunnels, jumps, and weaving poles. "Let's start with a few simple drills and see how Thor does," the instructor suggested. Emily led Thor to the starting line, her heart pounding with excitement. She'd never tried agility with him before, but something told her that he might surprise everyone. She bent down and whispered in his ear, asking if he was ready. Thor's ears perked up, and his tail wagged in eager response. As soon as Emily signaled, Thor bolted forward, determination written all over his face. He moved through the course with incredible agility and grace. Thor soared effortlessly over the jumps, threaded smoothly through the poles, and dashed through the tunnels with a speed and precision that left the crowd in stunned silence. The spectators watched in awe as he completed the course faster than anyone had anticipated. Emily beamed with pride, her heart swelling with joy. She had always known Thor was special, but seeing him excel in the agility course was beyond her wildest dreams. Word of Thor's hidden talent spread like wildfire throughout the fair. People who had once seen him as just another rescued dog now regarded him as a star. Soon, Emily's family received several offers from trainers and agility clubs, all eager to help Thor reach his full potential. The discovery of his talent opened up new doors for Emily and her beloved dog. They began training with a local agility club, and Thor's progress was nothing short of astounding. He quickly became a favorite among the trainers. But as Thor's agility skills garnered attention, the troubling presence of his previous owner grew more pronounced. Seeing Thor's success at the fair seemed to embolden the man, and he began to escalate his threats. He showed up at the park during their training sessions, shouting that Thor belonged to him and that he would reclaim him by any means necessary. Victoria and John grew increasingly concerned for Emily's safety and for Thor's well-being. After much discussion, they decided it was time to take legal action to ensure that Thor's place in their family would be secure. They contacted a lawyer who specialized in animal rights cases. During their first consultation, the lawyer, Miss Patterson, listened carefully to their story. "You have a strong case," she said, her tone confident. "The key will be to gather as much evidence as possible regarding Thor's past mistreatment and to demonstrate how well he's doing now under your care." Determined, Victoria and John began collecting all the evidence they could to support their case. They had taken detailed photographs of Thor's condition when they first rescued him: his matted fur, protruding ribs, and sad eyes. They also gathered veterinary records documenting his health improvements, as well as testimonials from neighbors, friends, and trainers who had witnessed Thor's transformation. Emily, too, was determined to help. She wrote a heartfelt letter describing her deep bond with Thor and the positive changes she had seen in him. "Thor is my best friend," she wrote, her words dripping with sincerity. "He saved my life, and I love him deeply. Please don't let anyone take him away from me." The legal process was overwhelming, and with the court case looming, the pressure was mounting. On top of that, the local agility competition was quickly approaching. It was a significant event where Thor could showcase his newfound talents and demonstrate how far he had come. Despite the tension, Emily and Thor continued to train. Emily's heart would race every time she saw the previous owner lurking nearby, but she drew strength from her love for Thor and her unshakable determination to protect him. Finally, the day of the competition arrived. The air was electric with anticipation. Dozens of dogs and their owners gathered, ready to compete in various events. As they waited for their turn, Emily noticed the previous owner standing on the sidelines, glaring at them with hostility. She took a deep breath, focusing all her energy on Thor. "We can do this," she whispered softly, her voice full of resolve. "Just like we practiced." When the announcer called their names, Emily and Thor stepped onto the course with unwavering determination. The crowd fell silent, a palpable sense of anticipation hanging in the air. Emily gave the signal, and Thor sprang into action. With fluid grace, he soared over the jumps, weaved through the poles, and raced through the tunnels, his every movement a testament to the bond they had forged. As they crossed the finish line, the crowd erupted in applause. Emily's face lit up with pride, and Thor wagged his tail, his excitement evident in every joyful flick of his fur. The competition's judges were visibly impressed. One of them, a well-known dog trainer, approached Emily with admiration in his eyes. "You and Thor are an extraordinary pair," he said. "He's an exceptional dog, and you've done an incredible job training him." The day of the hearing finally arrived. Emily gripped Thor's leash tightly, her nerves steely with resolve. The previous owner stood nearby, his face twisted in a scowl, muttering to himself. Miss Patterson, their lawyer, presented their case with poise and confidence. She emphasized Thor's remarkable progress and the loving care he had received since being adopted by Emily's family. The judge listened attentively, his eyes scanning the evidence, photographs, vet records, and testimonials. When Emily's letter was read aloud, the courtroom fell quiet, and many people wiped away tears. Finally, the judge turned to the previous owner, his voice calm but firm. "The evidence clearly demonstrates that Thor was neglected and mistreated under your care," the judge stated. "He has flourished in his new home, and it is in his best interest to remain with this family." The previous owner protested vehemently, but the judge was unshaken. "Your actions have shown that you are unfit to care for this dog," he declared. "The court rules in favor of Emily's family. Thor will remain with them permanently." The court ruling was a monumental victory for Emily and her family, but the story didn't end there. After the hearing, the judge ordered an investigation into Thor's previous owner. What emerged was nothing short of shocking. the investigation uncovered a disturbing history of animal abuse. Several other animals had suffered under the man's care, and witnesses came forward to share their stories of his cruel behavior. The local news quickly picked up the story, amplifying the outrage felt by the community. The details of Thor's past mistreatment sent shockwaves through the town. The public rallied around Emily and Thor, with neighbors, friends, and even complete strangers joining forces to ensure the previous owner would never harm another animal again. Did you enjoy this story? Have you ever rescued an animal from abandonment or a life of neglect? Do you believe it's possible to completely heal an animal that has suffered abuse? Let us know in the comments below. If you like the story, please subscribe to this channel and leave a like. Emily and Thor's journey reminds us that, despite a painful past, it is possible to build a future full of love and happiness with our animals. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming stories of resilience and hope, and don't forget to share this video with friends and family. Your support helps us continue this vital work, one life at a time. Let's keep the flame of compassion burning brightly, because together, we can make miracles happen. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.